over here. We got a cool place over here. If you guys ever come over, we got a place to stay.
Oh, great!
Yeah, we got enough room for you. We're like a mile from Kapa'a, from the ocean. We're just like, we can go dip down into the town whenever we want and come right back up. All right, we're live.
That's one of. I'm sorry, I'm just fixing my mic now. It's a little weird that the mic stand is a little bizarre. Okay, and I want to share it. Do you have it on your Facebook page that you share?
Yeah, it's on my page. It's on my page now.
Reload, I think.
I'm going to share it around a little bit too. There's Susan Marie's.
There we are.
Yeah, there we go.
Share.
Susan Marie was on yesterday. She's cool, man.
What's that?
Susan Marie, I don't know if you caught that one yesterday. She's really good. Out of Canada. She's been doing the work for a long, long time. We've had some good shows lately. Whenever Morgan takes over the scheduling, it works out much better. She loads them up, man. I don't know where she finds these people. Yeah. We got 42 people in the house, still sharing around. We're going to roll it out in just a second. Linda Lundgren, Sophie Thornalley, Adelaide, Tom Whitebear, Susan Marie, like I said, Mira Ginsburg, Shane Cadell, Kelly Bird, Desley Lineker, Lily Howard's here, Kelly Jim McGrain, Eric Alamon, Morgan Lee in the house, Michelle Good, Susan Otteson, Monica Peterson, Debbie Plant, Sue Fitz, Catherine Hauser, Christine Miguel, Cricket Holden, Elizabeth Wolf Ricketts, Mary Kavork, Soraya Williams, Heather Houston, Garrett Petra, Margaret Edwards, and Stephen Kerr. Welcome to Soul Speaks 5D. Daniel Scranton's back in the house, and I think we're going to do he's going to do some channeling today.
Yeah.
If I read the message right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Yeah. So, how you doing? Welcome back. Yeah.
Life is good here.
Yeah. I had this delusions of grandeur. I escorted Morgan over to Honolulu to see her off. You know, and I thought, man, I'm just gonna hop on over to Maui, man. I don't know anybody on Oahu, you know, and I was like, God, there's people are writing me and telling me they live in Hawaii, but I think everybody's on Maui or Kauai or two people on the Big Island.
Big Island probably too.
But we'll have to connect at some point when Morgan gets back. The four of us, we'll have to. It's too quick of a flight, man. They're like 40 minutes. So let me just say this. I know I'm going to get in trouble for this. I know I'm going to get a deep shift, and that is happy birthday. It's March the 10th in Australia. March the 19th. March the 10th is Morgan Lee's birthday. So happy birthday, my beloved. Thank you for coming to the party, and thank you for pulling my ass out of the fire. This is also the day, the date that I was given the name Soulogy, which I know she had something to do energetically, even though I wouldn't know her for another 3 years. But yeah, so happy birthday, babe. And see if I can write some kind of awesome poetry tonight for you. Thank you, Daniel. All right, Daniel,
can you speak to the people who are here right now and give me 1 minute to grab a speaker, because the static is really bothering me, and I need to plug in an external speaker.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess what I could do is sing happy birthday to Morgan. I know I'm going to get in trouble for this.
That was fast. Now it's just a question of whether the speaker and the microphone can both be plugged in at the same time. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Perfect.
It sounds better. All right.
Yeah, good.
You good?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got this new microphone today. I was hoping that I would get it for this interview. and it came, but this is my first experience using it. So
yeah, I need to get one. I've dropped this one so many times.
Yeah, those little earbuds are not very secure in there.
These?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just bought another pair last night for $10, man. But yeah, my microphone, this one I use.
Oh,
I've dropped it like 3 times, 4 times, 6 times. I don't know. I've had some good microphones. It makes a big difference, man. The microphones.
they're pretty cheap on Amazon too.
Yeah, I like the ones the condenser microphones that you plug in the earphones to. Those are the ones I like the best. I'm gonna get another set. Enough of that. Everybody's wishing Morgan happy birthday. She's saying, "Please, Todd, don't sing. Please don't sing." No, I'm gonna come on tonight. I'll do a radio show and I'm gonna sing happy birthday to Morgan. I'm gonna get in trouble, but that's okay. So, oh yeah, they liked my Kleenex box, my microphones.
Oh yeah. You gotta do what you can.
Yeah. Hey, man, I was just telling you before the show, after it was actually during the last show, which was like 2 hours before this one started. It's when it ended. I started getting really super drowsy, and I could feel this aspect of myself coming in. Do people talk about that? The people you work with, the client base you have, do they talk about having that type of experience? Because I've seen it happen to Morgan several times, and it's happened to me now 2 or 3 times in the last 2 or 3 months where I could actually feel something enter my body,
My clients, part of the reason why doing what I do is something that I can see myself doing for the rest of my life is because my clients are so freaking awesome. And they have experiences like that all the time, and dreams and things, channeling experiences. So I get to experience what people bring through when I'm teaching them channeling. It's amazing. I'm often very jealous of the experiences my clients have and talk about. So yeah, I've heard just about everything you can imagine.
I bet. Yeah, I was just listening to Allison Cole this morning. She brought out a couple of videos. I met her in Sedona, and she's going to come on the show.
Okay.
She's a very cool lady. But yeah, do you ever get that?
The talk of the event started with her, right?
What's that?
All of the talk of the event started with her.
Yeah, I don't know. I know, and that's what I was going to refer to.
Find out.
Yeah. Now, I've heard it before. Like, what's her name? Ashley Aluna, clairvoyant.
Oh yeah.
She talks about it, and has been for months. And actually, I heard this same thing about.
Yeah, Allison Coe. I think this was over a year ago. I think.
Yeah, she was talking about it, and that's where my question is going to be. But I think actually I've heard about it prior to that. 2-3 years ago from different people talking about a solar flash.
Oh, that's Corey Good.
Yeah, a solar flash or a blink of a cosmic eye where everything kind of, whatever. But the reason I was bringing that up was because when you talk to your clients, do you really, that wasn't the core of what I was talking about. But when you talk to your clients, Dolores Cannon, Allison Coe, they get like these intermeshed chronologies or messages from their clients. So as they're communicating with the higher selves, they're kind of like telling the same story. Do you get anything like that happen? Where your clients,
the difference between what they do and what I do is Dolores isn't doing it anymore. Not in the physical, but what a QHHT person does versus what I do is that they take the client into the state of hypnosis, an altered state. When I work, I go into an altered state myself. The client stays in their normal waking conscious. Well, hopefully the client comes with me to a certain extent, raising their vibration, getting to that point where they can actually receive a lot more. Now, if I'm teaching channeling to a person, then I do try to take them into that state. And a lot of the time, I'm successful with getting people channeling. But usually, it's like a person learning to ride a bike. So they're not coming through with heaps of information.
Yeah.
About what's about what's going to happen, or it's very basic stuff when they first start channeling. Usually.
Yeah. So you actually teach people how to channel?
Oh yeah, I freaking love it.
Yeah.
I love teaching. I love connecting with people, and I love getting to them to that place and then experiencing what they channel.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool. Yeah. And so you mentioned that event thing. I guess that, I hadn't thought about it the way you posed the question.
Well, no, when you were talking about it just then, I realized that, okay, you talk about the event, you talk about the solar flash, and then you talk about 3 days of darkness.
Yeah.
So I heard about the 3 days of darkness thing a long time ago. So that whole idea has been around for a while.
What is that, man? It's like, and I was asking someone today, it was Jen McCarty, because she got a transmission a couple of days ago that was very similar. And in fact, I hadn't even listened to Allison's latest video. And after I got off the show, it was like the same type of thing. And I saw it with Aluna Ash as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Lyrian. So I don't know, I mean, and I personally don't care. I don't really care. What, you know what I mean? I'm having a hard enough time just holding on to my ass, Hey, so let me ask you.
Right then, you just sounded like Jeff Bridges, like a big. That was like a Big Lebowski moment for me. Man, right. I'm just having a hard time holding on to my ass.
Well, let me ask you, since Mighty Chris and you came on, or even the last 2-3 weeks, have you gone through any major transformations, any major elevations? Because I sure have. It's been like like I feel like a what do you call it? Those Japanese World War II fighters, kamikaze. take a shot and crash into the ship.
I don't know. I do feel like I'm on this sort of steady trajectory where I don't necessarily experience leaps and bounds anymore like I used to. But it's more of like a steady kind of like always feeling like, oh, I dealt with that issue, and now I'm posting my videos on YouTube where I've been channeling a nightly transmission or daily transmission for 6.5 years.
You've been doing it daily for 6.5 years.
Well, I'll take a week off here and there if I'm traveling.
But for the most part,
or at night if we're up late talking about something, doing a lot of processing or something, and then I usually do it after she goes to bed when it's just me up and I can just focus on that.
How in the hell how can she sleep through that toning, man? That's loud.
We have a big house.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah.
And we also sleep with white noise on, just because you never know like what sounds could wake you up. So 6.5 years I've just been channeling them into my phone's microphone, transcribing them, and I thought that was enough to reach people, but it seems like people really want to see you channel. And I'm basing that on the numbers I see on YouTube. I see like it's the videos I have of myself where I'm on the camera channeling. I have a couple that have like 10,000 or more views. Yeah. But and then the two solo interviews I've done with you, because I'm on the camera and you're on the camera, it's those are 2 of the top 10 now of thousands of videos on the YouTube channel. So I realized people are more likely to watch if they can see me. So I've had to kind of overcome my shyness about being on camera every day, you know, and I have to get some more T-shirts because it's like every day it's either the gray or the black.
Hey, you know what? That's what I do. You know what? That like today, 3 shows, 3 different shirts, and the reason I don't know why I got to do that. It's like it's also easier for me to catalog. Like I'm like 70 or 80 videos behind uploading to YouTube, but it's easier, you know. And I don't know, it's just like something about it. But you're right, you do, and I agree with you.
Background now, I got to get one of those. I'm gonna buy like a tapestry to hang behind me too.
I just happened to get in. This was our first home. We stumbled into our first home, and so the wall was painted that way.
Yeah.
So it's actually. But you're right. You know,
this wall behind me, I painted that blue.
Yeah, that would work. That one would work. But you know, you're right about that. The visual adds something to it.
Yeah.
It really, really does. And I recognized that when I started coming out in 2015 and putting productions together, you know, different video productions. And even like last night, a family member who'd kind of, you know, put some distance between us, reached out to me last night on texting. And I said, look, if we're going to do this, let's talk, but let's do it on camera. I think it's much more powerful to have that visual, you know? So, yeah. So you're going to have to get some new shirts.
I got to expand.
So you've been channeling for 6.5 years. It's like 2000.
No, I've been channeling for over 8, but I've only been doing the daily messages for 6. It took me a long time to get to that point where I could channel without somebody asking me a question. I had to have somebody there asking the question if I was going to bring through any information. And then back in 2012, I had just moved into an apartment in Santa Monica, and I gave it a shot. I said, all right, I'm going to see if I can bring through something without any prompting. And the initial transmissions I came through would sometimes take me an hour to get it out. And it would be like a couple paragraphs. So eventually, by the time we hit the end of 2012, I was able to do them pretty smoothly in 8 to 10 minutes. And I've been doing it ever since. I'm posting them. That's why I have 2 books on Amazon right now, each of which has 240 of those transmissions. And we're working on a 3rd because like I said, I have thousands after 6.5 years, 365 times 6, you know.
That's 2,000, man.
Yeah.
That's and all of those are on video, or all of those are transcribed?
No, they're the voice. My voice is on the YouTube video, and then on the screen I'll have like a passage from it with a picture.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that. So you actually, because I was talking to someone about this today. I think it was Morgan. We were talking about, like, last night I laid down. I thought I was going to bed, and I heard get up and do a radio show. I hadn't done one in like 3 months, and I was telling her when I got done, I don't remember anything about it. And some people that channel or get transmissions or particularly channel, they'll be like, you need to write it down because I won't remember anything. So your process is you can actually go in without a questioner, and you can actually connect and retain and recall everything, or do you write it as you go?
I'm recording. No, I'm recording always.
Oh, you record it. Okay, I got you.
I got to transcribe. I've got this great friend on Facebook who he'll point out if there was a typo, if I missed a word, if I typed you instead of your or your instead of you, he catches it. This guy lives in Denmark, and some of the time I'm able to see his comment before it goes out to my list of about 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't catch it in time, but then I'll go back and make sure the corrections are made, because other websites pick up my stuff and post it. So like Sananda is one I've heard of. Love Has Won is another one. I'm sure there's at least a half dozen or more others that I've heard.
I've seen one of yours on Higher Self. I think it's called Higher Self.
Higher Self is a YouTube channel. Oh, but she has a website too, you're saying?
Yeah, no, I think I saw. I saw your stuff. One of the first times I ever saw it was on one of those channels that. A
YouTube channel, yeah. They'll take like a clip, 3-minute clip, and they'll do the robotic voice thing, and they'll put their own picture, which is fine, because otherwise I don't know how they would do it and make it like something of their own, but really, if you want the full transmission, you've got to go to my YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Now, so when you sit down now, because you used to have someone providing questions, right?
Only not for those transmissions. I'm just saying, when I first started channeling, I would only channel if I had someone there with me who could ask a question, either on phone or Skype. And I wasn't doing, and when I would do group events, I'd go into the channeling state, and then the people at the event, usually around 13 people would show up. They'd have to just start asking questions. And then little by little, I started to channel little bits and pieces of like an intro, 5 minutes, maybe 10. And it took me a while, though, to get comfortable with that freestyle format, because channeling for different people, I think it's a different experience. For me, it was very hard to start out. Now I feel much more confident and comfortable with it. I did an event where I channeled at the same on the same stage as 3 of my channeling heroes, and if you had asked me to do that back in 2013, I would have been like, no way, I'm not ready. I can't be in the same space as Wendy Kennedy, Nora Harold, and Daryl Anka. Those people.
Daryl Anka is Bashar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like the highlight for me of my career, is that I channeled about a couple hours after Daryl channeled on the same stage. And, like I said, if you told me that I was going to do that back in 2012 or 11 or whenever, I would have been like, are you kidding me?
Now, when you go into it now, post having a questioner, since that you don't have to do that anymore, do you go in with a specific topic and or a specific idea of who you want to connect with? Because I noticed recently, you I think it was Andromedan, but I noticed that you had, yeah. So I noticed that you deviate a little bit, at least. I don't know.
But now with the daily message, the daily message consistently has been from the Arcturian Council for at least 2 years.
Okay.
And the reason I've been sticking with them, if you see one from the creators or someone like that, Pleiadians, it's because I didn't get to it that night for some reason, and I reposted an old one.
Okay.
But,
okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, the reason why I stick with the Arcturian Council is because I feel like they've gone to new places that I've never been to before, with Ophelia the Faerie, Quan Yin, Archangel Gabriel, all the different beings I've channeled over the years for these daily messages, and there's about, I think, 9 in total. A couple, maybe even 11, because I did a couple of ET races, but I didn't stay with them for very long, the Zetas and the Quantians. So yeah, the daily message, the different beings I brought through. I even channeled the unicorns a few times.
Wow.
I feel like so there's so much more that the Arcturians have brought that I really, something's going to have to really like grab me and pull me to do somebody else, like an Andromedan collective, or, you know, I'm a little shy about channeling Yeshua just because everybody has their own story already about Yeshua and who Yeshua is. I channel the Buddha as well, but that's another thing where it's like who the Buddha is now versus who the Buddha was then, you know. So
I mean,
Council is new to a lot of people.
So it's the Arcturians, but I guess what I'm saying is, do you ever go in and you don't have a choice, or
no? I always just go for them.
Okay, so you have a you have a direct line,
I don't try to channel anybody. If I left it open for anyone to come through, you know, it's an interesting question, Todd, because I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I just know it's time to do the daily message. And it's, you know, is what is the first thing that they say through me. That's not me saying that. That's something I wanted to clarify with people who are on YouTube and wondering, why are you doing this? You know, what is this about? And like, somebody called it theatrics or something, you know, like why do you have to do all that? You know, just do the message. And then somebody else emailed me once and said, nobody else is doing what you're doing with the noises and the sounds, and why don't you just channel the message? And I don't choose those things, you know. I'm the channel, and however it comes through me is how it comes through me. So when I hear of course I know the Arcturian Council are coming. Now sometimes I'll channel for a client. The client will say, I want to talk with the Pleiadians, or I want to talk with Quan Yin, or I want to talk with the creators. Whoever they choose, I can dial in to and just get.
Wow.
If they don't choose anyone in particular, then I say, okay, we'll both be surprised then by who comes through me, because I'll leave it up to them and just open myself up.
Wow. And so like with your relationship and your connection to the Arcturians, do you like, just as you go about your day, do they ever like chime in? Like, hey, Daniel, we need to talk to you?
I've only had a couple of clairaudient experiences in my whole life.
Interesting.
So I don't have a little voice in my head, but I will, from time to time, experience spontaneous channeling verbally.
Yeah.
Without trying at all, without even knowing that it's going to happen before it starts happening.
Right. That's what I was getting at. Now, is there a general direction or trajectory of the recent intel, and I'm particularly interested in 2019, that you've been getting from them, like a story building or a path that's forming, or you know, that you can put your finger on? Which one? I don't mean the future. I just mean like what's going on. Can you see that there's some type of you know, some type of path being created, or I don't want to say storyline, but in their messages?
I think the main message is that we're in a position now where we don't have to follow any one storyline. We don't have to be on just one timeline that that everyone else is sort of on and we're just stuck on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you jump to a different timeline, there will be a version of the collective there for you to create with. So the idea that, you know, we have to look around and say, oh, things look bad. And, you know, if this is the state of humanity, then, and I'm stuck with this version of humanity, then all I can do is sort of throw up my hands and try to make myself as comfortable as possible.
Right.
We don't need to do that. We need to be a little bit more claiming of our right to be the creator of our reality. And that doesn't just mean make the most of a crappy situation. That means to create whatever version of this shift that we're in right now that we want to create.
Yeah. And so that means actually taking ownership of every single thing, including, the whatever on another continent or whatever on the world stage. And we actually have that ability to influence everything.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's literally what jumping the timeline is, right? I mean, yeah. Now, I'm going to ask you, we had a recent experience right before Morgan left with encounters with short grays.
Okay.
Zetas. In your transmission, in your channelings, do they talk much about that type of contact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They talk about how, first of all, if you are ready for that, then you most certainly can have it. Now, a lot of people are waiting for a big full disclosure event or ships to land everywhere. But you don't need to wait for that in order to have encounters with ETs. If that's something you want to create, then you can create it now. And something that the Arcturians talked about in one of my sessions with a client today was that it's sort of like when you want to be in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And if you're desperate and lonely and needy, then you're not putting out the right energy to be in the romantic relationship you want to be in. And it's the same with the ETs, where if you're looking to have ET experiences because you feel like you need them, they're here to save us.
Yeah.
You can't connect with anyone here in human form. So, that's not putting out the best energy to get you the best ET relationships.
Yeah.
So you've got to, see yourself as an equal. Yeah, see yourself as having something to give as well to the relationship, not just someone who needs them to show up, and give you all the activations and all the healings and everything. But that, I think, the people like you and Morgan who are ready for those types of experiences, my wife and I have also had them.
Yeah.
Then you'll get them. But I mean, I say that, and at the same time, I know that sometimes it is in those dark and lonely places where we're shouting out for help that we do receive it.
Yeah.
And I think, it's that same thing as with an addict hitting rock bottom.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we need to hit rock bottom in our lives before we completely surrender and just say, okay, I'm here, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Because that was my experience with.
That was mine too. That was mine too. And there's something about being at rock bottom when those divine episodes happen that puts them in a different category. Because I think what you're saying is true. You have to be ready. And like even in the last exchange I had, in the little conversation I had with them, they were both assisting, but they were also observing and learning specifically about the power of our emotions. That's what the guy told me, or whatever.
That is such a good segue to something I wanted to talk about.
Right on.
Yeah, and of course the Zetas would talk about the power of emotions, right? Since they're like the Vulcans of the universe, or the
I don't know
galaxy.
anything about them. I just.
That's absolutely accurate. If you needed confirmation that was a real experience, then that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's what you got from them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I feel you, and a couple other things that happened, and I did get confirmation how that works within 24 hours of like that it was in alignment. So I'm glad you said that, because it's not the easiest thing to talk about, man. It's like a little bit tricky.
I know.
So what were you going to talk about with the emotion? The emotion.
I channeled on Thursday night from the Arcturian Council a message, and the title of it was Your Powerful Emotions.
Yeah.
And then we went on Friday to see Captain Marvel. And Captain Marvel is a story about a woman who, I don't want to give too much of it away, but it's about her and her emotions, basically. And for her to tap into her power, she really needed to be emotional.
Yeah.
And in the end, it was about her humanity and seeing humanity, just like what I was saying about seeing ourselves as having something to offer these ETs.
Yeah.
Seeing humanity as having something special rather than just being the one, the stepchildren of the universe or the galaxy. And it's a beautiful movie, and I don't understand why the ratings on IMDb are not higher. Maybe it's a little too, emotional, and it's a great movie if you're not into like people killing each other all the time too. You know what I mean?
I'm not into that.
Like I like those movies where like Spider-Man: Homecoming with the young like teenage Spider-Man, where he's merciful.
Yeah.
And he has the opportunity, if he wants, to do away with the bad guys forever, and doesn't. And that's I think what we need more of. Yeah. I can't watch Game of Thrones. I can't watch it. It's too. The energy is just too dark, and there's too many people on there that I'm like, I can't root for this person now.
Yeah.
Like, why am I watching this person?
It's just a bunch of eye candy, man.
Well, there's a lot of, yeah.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't watch it. I don't watch movies though, but yeah. So so that I think would make sense that there's more and more encounters. And it's interesting because it's like a cross between what we see in visible light, and what we see from the third eye. That was our experience over 2-3 nights, because the last night, which was 2 nights before we headed, before I saw her off in Honolulu, we were actually, kind of like, not in the 3D sense, but we were kind of like discovering some sacred sexual vibrational stuff, which had nothing to do with sexual acts. I was actually seeing, releasing something in the masculine, upgrading in the masculine, the light body, and I would say like even like the functionality or the rhythm of the lower chakras. And I was seeing like light language on her back and off-planet geometry, and it was all moving around and talking to me. And then I look over my shoulder, and this dude is standing on the bed, because they're not very big. So I'm on my knees, And I turn, and he's about the same height, standing on the bed at the head of the bed, leaning against the wall. And I'm like, what are you doing here, man? Right? But he had like this rectangular thing on I think it was on his neck or something. And I asked him, well, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm assisting you to open up these memories or whatever. And I'm observing y'all's emotional quotient, or your it was like your emotions and their ability, or how they relate to manifestation, something like that.
Well, yeah. And we talked about that last time when Mari Chris was here, is about using that post-orgasmic time to create your reality.
Yeah. This was like pre. I don't know if it was post. It was just, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that. I just that was just a sidebar of it. But the contact with these, that's why I was curious as to whether they talk about that, the Arcturian. So you want to channel? You want to channel today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do you want to ask them questions, or do you want them to kind of freestyle it?
Wow, I don't know, man. I've never really thought about something like that. It's questions. Well, does anybody have a question? Pop it up. But I don't know. I think well, we do everything spontaneously here, so I'd say just freestyle it.
Okay. That was just water. Going down the round pipe.
Yeah.
Okay. Must have needed to clear something out of my throat chakra. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. Yes, yes, yes. We have been very big fans of you and your work, Todd. And we have been noticing the ways in which people have been responding to you and your guests. This allows us to have a better understanding of what people are looking for and responding to. That in turn helps us to deliver better transmissions to the collective. And so we want to say thank you for that. And we also want to point out that this is a very big collective that we are all a part of. And there is a lot of teamwork involved, even when you all don't know that you are being part of the team. So we're pointing this out to let everyone know that whatever it is you are doing, it is having an impact. And just as the Zetas were sharing with you that they are learning from you and observing you, we are doing the same. And there are many other beings who are learning not only for their own benefit, but who are learning how to better assist humanity. Because there are many discussions amongst those of us who are spread out throughout the galaxy and throughout the dimensions as to what the best ways are to be of service to humanity. It's not necessarily the best way for us to serve you to have more extraterrestrial contact at this time, because it is so much better for all of you to connect with each other, to have the experiences that you're co-creating, to trigger emotions, to help each other, and of course to love each other, and to forgive each other and have compassion for one another. All of that is helping each of you to ready yourselves for more extraterrestrial contact. So if you want to connect, you always have the option of connecting with a human, a plant, an animal, the ocean, the earth, and of course connecting within so that you can have experiences like this one that this channel is having, that took him 10 years of daily meditation to get ready for. So before he ever started channeling any of us, he needed to connect within himself. And that's why it's so important for all of you to see the opportunities that are right in front of you, that are all around you. As Todd pointed out, there is a Lyran here with Daniel in the form of a cat. There are many beings right there with you on your planet that you can connect with, who carry quite a bit of extraterrestrial energy and DNA. So you don't have to wait for anything to happen to start feeling more connected, to start feeling that you are more of a part of a galactic community. and to stop feeling so isolated and alone there on planet Earth. Remember always that separation is an illusion. Just because you have a physical body with an end point to it, you have the skin that seems to indicate that that's where you end, doesn't mean that you actually end at that end point or those end points. So you are all very much connected, and not only to us, but to each other. And of course to Source. But you have to feel for that connection. You can't just take our word for it. Just because it makes a nice bumper sticker or refrigerator magnet doesn't mean it sinks in to you until you feel for it. And so that is our recommendation to all of you. Is there anything that you would like to know from us?
I'm I'm very grateful. I'm a little bit I can't even begin to formulate a question. I wouldn't even know what to ask.
Very good. And we will just share then with those who will listen in to this and who are listening into it right now, that wherever you are in your life, you are perfect. Your life is perfectly laid out for you. And you have access to so much more when you let go of the thoughts that do not serve you. And you use those thoughts as an indicator to you that you need to get out of your heads. You need to be present. You need to focus on your hearts and what you can feel in the moment. Your breathing will always put you more centered and grounded and present in the moment. And you need to listen to your bodies. If your bodies are telling you that you need to slow down, that you need to rest, that you need some self-care, then give that to yourselves. And trust that everything else is working itself out without you having to do it all, without you having to make everything happen for yourselves or for the collective. You can trust in the gradual ascension process that you are a part of and that you have been a part of for this entire lifetime. So we are very interested in continuing the relationship that we have with humanity and seeing where we can take it and how we can best be of service. And so we will continue to do so, and we want you to know that all of your requests are heard, all of your prayers are heard. Every time you reach out to us, we are aware of you. You don't need a special satellite dish or to even know that you are, in fact, being heard by us in some way. You just need to trust. We are always around. We are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And we want you to recognize that you are significant to us, that we love you, and that we are here in service. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.
Jeez. Are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little cat came in and she wanted to be a part of this.
Man. Yeah, Katie's does that same thing when we get on. Katie Indicros, Damien. Man, I don't get in, this is just a personal thing. I don't really get into a whole bunch of stuff, I've always been that way. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why, if it's just because my trip is, I hardly even get impressed by the things that I go through or have gone through, but that was a very powerful, pure channeling.
Thank you, sir.
That was I could do more. I could participate in more of that. I'm not like that. I just do my stuff and do my mission and then go on about my way. But so let me ask you. So obviously this is a huge part of your purpose in this incarnation. How do you see what your mission is here? I mean, I know this is a huge part of it, but how do you see what is your mission, do you think? Because you seem very connected, obviously, to the Arcturians.
It's funny because I love doing what I just did. And if you think about purpose, you often think about service. And when you think about service, you often think about doing something you don't want to do, but that will benefit somebody else. Or, the last thing I channeled from them last night was actually about that, about how being of service doesn't have to mean you're sacrificing yourself.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to mean that you deplete yourself. You can be doing whatever brings more source energy through you, and as long as you remember that you need to stay in the flow with that, then you will stay in the flow and you'll get more when you give more. So it's weird because I didn't go into this channeling life to be of service.
Yeah.
It's just because I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And yet I see how it is of service, and I like that. And I obviously feel like I want to help in whatever way that I can. But it doesn't feel like I have to put forth any amount of real effort.
Yeah.
And that's nice, because at the end of the day, we all have our own lives to live, and by living our lives, we face the things that we need to face as individuals. And I think we're all microcosms of the galaxy and the universe. So if we can reconcile the different sides of ourselves and integrate them, no, we just lost Todd. If we can become whole, harmonious beings within our own selves and our own bodies, then we'll see that reflected outside of ourselves in our world here on Earth and in our galaxy and our universe. And so really, in order to, I think, live your mission and your purpose, you just have to live your life. And I think that's why Bashar says, follow your highest excitement. Because if you do what you want to do and what lights you up and brings you the most joy, then others are going to benefit from that. Yeah. It doesn't have to look like the traditional, story in the Bible of washing people's feet. Kind of like, there are people who maybe get joy out of washing people's feet, but I don't think that would be a calling for me in life. So, and another example I always think of is a person who plays the violin. A person who plays the violin probably doesn't think, I'm going to be doing this because this is my mission, my purpose, and my way of being of service. But if that person loves playing the violin, and that music that gets sent out is carrying that vibration, then that person's being of service, whether they're thinking about it or not.
Yeah.
So I don't think about the one thing that I do think about from time to time is the possibility that there will be an ET race here that will need someone to be the person who communicates, who acts as a go-between for humanity and this race, and that they'll need someone who can translate their energy into our words, and that they would choose me to do that, and that gets me excited to think about.
I think you've already created that in the ethers.
I'm talking about physical ones. I'm talking about
I know. I know what
ships, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That makes perfect sense. And that's what I was looking for. You know. That's because really, well, it's like even what I do. It's almost you do it because you have this curiosity. It's just like you said, you just want to do it, and then then you end up falling into or stepping into this serviceable function that you can you align with, and then there's something like out there. There's still something out there. Like in your case, it's being a universal linguist, you know, translator. Yeah, this shift's getting real, man. You know?
Yeah.
You know, because I remember months ago or even a year or two ago talking about are we going to actually see each other's multidimensionality? And I mean, I've watched Morgan's morph so many times. I can't, you know, into different aspects. And then I see these other aspects and I'm saying to myself, or really hearing from myself, I think that, hey, this is a small part of you sent to talk to you kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe it. It's fascinating. We have got, when she gets back, we have got to get together.
Yeah.
We've got to get together. Being in the same physical proximity would be huge. The four of us, you know, we wouldn't even have to say anything. Hell, I'd probably come away channeling. Yeah. So, okay. So you're at Daniel Scranton on YouTube. And then of course you come out with,
my YouTube channel, I mean, if you type in Daniel Scranton on YouTube, you'll see some videos from me and you'll see some of those repackaged videos.
That's same thing. Yeah.
Voice. So my actual YouTube channel is youtube.com/Dan Scranton, and then you'll only get my videos that I made.
Dan Scranton.
So that's back when I was going by Dan instead of Daniel, and I can't change that now. So it's /Dan Scranton.
Yeah, mine should say Soulogy One Studios. It says Mojo's Rising. That was a nickname my family gave me when I woke up. Like he's going to end up in a psych ward or in prison, one or the other, right?
Oh no!
But, so also you've got the Facebook, the daily on the Facebook. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll just put the links up again, and then the 2 books as well.
Yeah,
I know last time a couple of people hit me up. The show before the one with Marty Chris, they hit me up. Where can we get his book? So yeah, if you put those links up, so people can get in touch with you, and then we'll get back with you and do this again. You did toning before.
Yeah.
So when you said I can channel it, and I saw the old message, I just happened to see it today, and I was like, oh, okay. We didn't channel last time. I had no idea. That is. I got to tell you, you know, I can't really watch a whole lot of Bashar. I've watched some of it. I've seen some other people, Abraham Hicks and such. but I really, really resonate with yours. I mean, I really like hit home. Like, that was some powerful, and I don't know how everybody else felt, but absolutely. That was very powerful. So yeah, anytime you need a little, to expand the awareness of your channeling, and I can help you and anything else too,
Well, I know you're doing a lot of these shows now, right?
Oh my God.
It's more than one a day now. I was surprised and amazed when you were doing one a day, and now you're doing more than one.
Oh no, I think we've been doing since the beginning typically more than one a day. I mean, since the summer of 2017. Well, we're at 900 plus episodes now. So I would say, God, I don't even know. I remember Unity Grace was the 400th episode, and that was probably in the fall, late fall of 2017. So yeah, Morgan's, I think last month was 62 or 63. This month we got like 75 or 78. So I don't know what that equates to. I've got one next Friday, 6 shows. Today was 3, tomorrow's 4.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm digging it. We're just following the marching orders, man. And it's coming.
I'm happy to come back next month if you want me back.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. We're moving to an automated system, which is not quite ready. Might be ready in a day or two. But in the meantime, I'll just reach out to you and give you some times, and you pick a date in April.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely. And when she gets back, we're going to definitely have to hook up, man. It's just, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
It's like a 45-minute plane trip.
Yeah, I think you have to take Hawaiian Airlines.
Yeah. Channel wisdom from higher dimensional beings. Somebody posted it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so volume 2 of that is in the works right now. So volume 2 is going to have 9 different beings in it, including the Arcturians and all the others.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, absolutely. I love collaborating with you. Yeah. All right, man. So, okay. I'll get you that video. I'll get you this video, and I'll send you a note, which would just be pick a time and pick a date. Pick a time and pick a date. Yeah. Somebody said I'm morphing. I felt like I was morphing through the entire channeling. I kept getting like these Tourette syndrome tics going.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
And I do sometimes when usually it's when Morgan's, sometimes she'll be connecting and I'll start feeling it, or sometimes I do it on my own, but that was different. When you were doing that, certain tones would be hit or certain words would be spoken. I don't know which one. And it would like light me up inside, like electric jolt, So I don't know what that means. Did you implant me?
It means you're receiving. It's good. It means you're in tune. Yeah. If you were just in your head, then you probably wouldn't have that experience. Yeah.
No, I appreciate it, man. I really do. I look forward to doing more stuff together, and I look forward to when the 4 of us can get together and maybe have a little event over there. Seems to be more people over there than there is over here.
Oh, yeah.
In Maui. Yeah.
Like
you take care, brother. Tell Mighty Chris and say hello. Peace out, everybody. We got 4 shows tomorrow. We'll see you then. I'll get the post up tonight. See you later, brother.
Night.
Take care. Thank you for